Coach, was the first half lackadaisical play due to the lengthy play?
You know, I'm not sure. I know the guys were disappointed. I was disappointed at halftime. Just, you know, we were beat in every category. Second chance points, they had 12 bad turnovers, easy baskets. You know, our energy level was just really bad. No communication defensively. So it was not a good half. You know, we were probably fortunate to only be down 8 as poorly as we played. Second half didn't get off to a real good start, but, you know, once we started clicking, you know, then we got a few shots down, the energy level went way up. You know, VJ really likes to play when the ball's going in, and, you know, he did a really nice job of shooting the ball and giving us some energy there. And Kenny got going with a nice double-double and 3 blocks. And so the energy level just picked up, and we were able to make plays. And, you know, I liked the 22 assists on 33 goals, you know, and that was a lot of penetration kicks for VJ. You know, I thought the guys did a good job making plays for each other. But, you know, 17 turnovers. You know, just really lackadaisical turnovers. You know, we just wouldn't allow ourselves to get on a run. You know, we had the 5-point lead, and VJ had hit a couple nice ones, and Elijah tries throwing a lob. I mean, you know, and then we go down the other end and foul on an N1, and so we just, because of the turnovers, we never allowed ourselves to get a roll going, and that was really frustrating. But again. VJ got it going, 7 for 8 from 3. You know, we've been waiting for a game like this. He's done it in practice. He struggled here of late because his shot was really too flat, but he spent a lot of extra time with it trying to get it up, and it really paid off tonight.
They beat your points in the paint as well.
Well, they didn't beat us. They killed us, all right? 50 points in the paint. That's probably as many as we've given up all year. You know, and we've played a lot bigger teams. But when you get 18 second chance points, and when you have a number of layups off of turnovers, the points in the paint go way up. And then, you know, they're big in there. They're round bodies and skilled. You know, I like their team, and those are young guys. That's going to be a very good basketball team for a long time. Good freshmen, solid, athletic. And we knew that. You know, we had played Iona a year ago in the tournament and liked their athleticism and the way they did compete. So we knew, you know, we were going to have a tough game. This is a well-rested team. Their tournament's early. They were well-rested, and they played like it. And, you know, like I said, they're going to be really good. Those are young guys that really know how to play.
BJ, Coach hinted at it, but what's been the process, just the work you put in to set the stage for a night like this?
I was just staying in the gym, you know, extra, just trying to put up more shots. But, I mean, my teammates did a really great job finding me tonight. You know, just spacing. You know, I got the coaches telling me about spacing and just talking to me and just kind of getting used to being on the floor, and my teammates finding me, and I was able to put it in. So.
BJ,
First one.
Dana mentions working on a shot that was a little flat. Can you kind of take me through a little bit of like what you've been tinkering with, or?
It's just with my shot being flat, just not really bending my knees and being straight up. So, you know, the shot's coming from my arms instead of my legs, and coach has just been on me just, you know, every day and just watching my shot and just trying to help me get it up, really.
When the first one and the second one go down, you start to feel a little something?
Yeah, a little bit, but just trying to stay focused. Just in the game, you hit shots, but, you know, you got to go back on the other end and get stops, and that's what I'm really trying to focus on is the other end. So.
Did they feel like the defense got the offense going in the second half? So they guys played better?
Well, we had some transition baskets. I've been yelling at these guys about running the floor. You know, we did a very poor job in Vegas. We didn't get any transition points except for the second half against Utah. The whole Washington State game, we walked up, ball up the floor, pounded it. First half against Utah, same thing. The only transition points we got were in the second half against Utah, and then didn't get any against USC until late. So, you know, we're much better when we run, you know, and get the ball moving. And you know, the second half, the defense allowed us to do that. You know, we got some steals and kicked it ahead. You know, the press got a few steals, and and that really helped us. So, they only had 12 turnovers, so it's not like we got them to turn it over a bunch. But it got the pace of the going, and it did get us running a lot more.
Kenny, for you young guys, have you been able to wrap your head around kind of the value of postseason experience and being able to build on this for the future?
Yeah, we realized how special it was because not a lot of teams get to play past their season. So we're just trying to embrace it and give it all we got every time we get to play on the floor.
What do you see from BJ bringing in when he gets those threes? That kind of get everybody going, especially when a couple of those are back to back.
Absolutely. It gives us a big spark. He gives us a spark off the bench, and we just try to give it to him every time. We know he'll get a good shot, so that's what we try to do when he gets in.
Coach, would Peyton Pritchard seem to take over driving the hoop? I think that was a pretty big key of turnaround.
Yeah, they don't block a lot of shots, and we did get to the rim, a number of times, and that was a big, as soon as we hit a few threes, and they were pushed out on our three-point shooters, and it really opened up the lane. We could get to the basket because they were staying out with BJ, they were staying out with Elijah, and it really opened up the lane.
Do you think the extended three-point line helps with that? I mean, it's 2 feet further back, right?
It's 1.8 inches. Yes and no. Guys can pack it in. There are certain players you don't have to guard because of the extra 1.5 feet. But, the difference was we hit them. We haven't been shooting the ball particularly well. And tonight we go 14 for 26 from three. So if we'd have done a better job at the free throw line, we'd had a really good offensive game, especially that second half.
What are your thoughts on 4 quarters and the wider lane?
Didn't really notice the wider lane. We didn't get many stops in there. Maybe that's points in the paint. The paint was wider. But, I don't think there was a lot of difference. The quarters, no 1-and-1, psychologically makes a difference because we're a really good free throw shooting team. But on a night we didn't shoot them as well as we've been shooting them. Maybe it didn't hurt us. But, the TV timeouts were really long. I don't have that much to say.
You ended on Keith. What was bothering him?
He, in the tournament, what was it, the second game, when we were pressing Utah, he hit and kind of messed up his hip. So, and he really struggled against USC with it, and tried to go against USC. He got mad at me when I took him out, but he just wasn't able to move. And he really tried to rehab the last couple of days getting ready to go. And he tried to go at shoot around today, and he just couldn't go.
Think he'll go next game?
It's those hips are tricky, really hard to move if it hurts, hip pointers, anything in the hips there. So, I hope so because he, in the press has really been effective here lately. So, I hope he's ready to go. I don't know when we'll play. I think Friday through Monday are the next dates that we possibly could play. Marquette and Harvard play tomorrow night, so we probably won't find out anything until either real late tomorrow or Thursday.
Kenny, you look pretty amazed as the rest of us might have about technical. I don't know if you can talk about what happened. No idea.
Well,
you know what happened.
He accidentally kicked him, and any kind of, it's like when you accidentally throw an elbow if you hit him. Just one of those things, excessive contact. So even if it's an accident, they can give you a flagrant one. So
BJ, would you take a day or two to look at the longer 3-point line? Did you work there on that yesterday, or was it just did you kind of notice any difference with the?
No, we just showed up to practice and there was a white line right there. It was farther back, so it's like, oh, okay, and just went into practice and then started shooting from back there, and they were going in. So.
Feel more comfortable shooting longer threes? Does that help at all?
Nah, it's just basketball. I'm just shooting.
3-minute breaks then between timeout, TV timeouts. Does that maybe allow you to play less guys because there's more rest for them?
That's always been the thought in the NCAA tournament and that when you got those long TV timeouts that guys can get rest. And when we were pressing, it really helped us. Guys had a long timeout there, but you know, tonight, VJ got a lot more minutes because, you know, he gave up a couple easy baskets in the first half. You know, and then he, you know, got it going. And I don't know, second half, he didn't give any baskets. He didn't get a loose ball that he should have got. I remember that. And didn't get inside on a couple rebounds. But defensively, you know, first half, he gave up some buckets that I got on him about. And then the second half, I thought he did a much better job defensively. And again, you know, that shot goes in and your energy level goes up and you guard better. You know, it's human nature. And freshmen usually have a much bigger problem as you go on in your career. That usually is not such a big deal. You know, you play even if the ball's not going in the head. But as freshmen, you got to really fight it, you know, because you know, your whole energy level goes by if you're hitting shots or not. And you just can't play that way because the ball's not going to go in every night. And so on those nights you're not shooting it well, you got to find a way to help your team in another way. You got to really guard. You got to turn up the other areas, not feel sorry for yourself and not guard and not rebound. That ball's not going in. You got to find a way to help your team. And freshmen are usually the ones that fight it the most. And then as you go on in your career, you usually figure that out.
You got Creighton or K-State in your bracket?
You know, that's you know, I spent 16 years at Creighton, so you know, that's who I'm pulling for. I like K-State, really like Bill Snyder and the football team. I follow them really close, but no, I'm pulling for Creighton hard. So.
You know, was there any disappointment that you saw in not making the NCAA?
Absolutely, no. After the ball game, we didn't play well against USC. I mean, our locker room. You know, there wasn't anybody smiling. You know, they were down. You know, we knew we had one shot, and we just didn't get it done. We didn't play good. We didn't play smart, and so they didn't feel good. And so we had Saturday and Sunday off, and we got together Monday and practice didn't start off really well, but it did finish well. They picked it up as we went along, but it sure didn't start out as a bundle of fire. And you know, we came back last night and watched film and went over the scouting report, and you know, it's not the same. You know, you prepare all year, you talk all year about making the NCAA tournament. And you don't make it, it's just like a football team. You know, you want to be in a major bowl. You know, and you go to Las Vegas Bowl. You know, it's just not the same thing. You know, as much as you try to, it's just not. And so, but if you love the game, if you want to compete, and you got Oregon on your chest, we hope like heck that you'll play. And so, you know, it is what it is. We didn't get it done during the season. We weren't tough enough early. We weren't tough enough late to finish games. And we got nobody to blame but ourselves. And so now we just got to make the best of this. And then we got work like heck in the off season. You know, it goes back to when we went to NIT 6 years ago. We had E.J. Singler and all those guys, Johnny Lloyd and all those guys that were coming back in the gym all the time. And we went to the Sweet 16 the next year. And then we had the 2 years where we only won one game in the tournament. And Dylan Brooks and Jordan Bell and Casey Benson and Tyler Dort, those guys were in the gym all the time. That's why I think Dylan had so many foot problems, because he never would take a day off. And those guys were always in the gym, and that enabled us to have good teams. It wasn't anything the coaches did. It was those guys working their tails off in the off season, and they got better. I mean, Dylan Brooks got better. Jordan Bell, I'm so proud of him. Chris Boucher, all those guys, they just got better. So that's the challenge for these guys. You know, how hard are they going to work in the off season to get us back where we want to be? Did UCLA win?
No, got beat.
No. That it?
All right. Thanks, guys.